Hey friends, what is up and welcome back to my channel. We are here yet again with a book haul. And I actually feel bad about book hauls recently, but most of these were gifts. Some of these are book of the month books. Some of these are books I just absolutely had to have. I don't have too much to talk about actually. Some of these I've read, and the ones that I have read I will talk about in depth. Well, not in depth, but more in depth than I normally do, because if you guys are not familiar, when I haul a book, when I buy a book, it's either one of my friends whose reviews I trust has been raving about it, or I've heard nothing but good things about it. People just generally saying, I really love this, it was really impactful, whatever it may be. But other than that, I try to go into books pretty blind. I am fortunate enough to have a great library system, so I do like to read a lot of library books. There's one or two in here. But also I am fortunate enough to have a steady job and be able to purchase books. And I try not to regularly purchase them because I feel like there are so many books in circulation, and the library is such a good resource. And it's good to talk about library books because not everyone is able to purchase a ton of them. Recently I've been unhauling a lot of books, so some of these are books that I purchased with monies from my unhaul. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I do have quite a few to talk about. Now, the first book that I have here is actually a book that I picked up because Jesse from Bow Ties and Books, I'll leave their channel down below, was talking about this on their Instagram story. And I was like, okay, I really want to read this. I need to read it. And I just ended up picking it up because that's what you do. And it would be Queenie. This is, I believe, she's obviously Black, but I know there's a little bit more representation in it. Jesse does a really good job of explaining that, but this is a book that I have once again seen them talk about, wanted to pick up. I've been trying to read more books by Black authors, and the author of this book is Black, the main character is Black, and I feel like it's just, I don't know, something that I've been wanting to pay more attention to. Jesse also recently did something on their Instagram stories when it talking about the nuances of books and how white reviewers can't really relate to some of the things. So they just go, oh, well, it was okay, but you know, this is at the basis what the book is about, and missing out on a lot of like culture things because obviously like we live completely different cultures, and I feel like it's important. So I did want to pick this up as like my first attempt at really paying attention to things like that and reading it not just as like a white person, but doing a little bit of research, maybe, you know, like different ethnicities and different cultures and really paying attention to it. And because they raved about this, I wanted this to be the first one that I picked up. So I'm really excited to read Queenie. So the next book that I have here is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. I did end up picking this up for a couple of reasons. A lot of the book clubs that I am in are currently reading it for this month and for last month, and I did want to pick it up because everybody has said really great things about it. This book follows our main character, Ben. They are non-binary. They have recently come out to their very, very Christian family, and they are kicked out of the house. So they do reunite with their sister that they haven't seen in about 10 years. They go to a new school, and it is good. Like, it's the story itself of being like non-binary and what that means and just the struggles that people go through, I think is really, really important. So that is why I ended up picking up this book. The next one I picked up, I actually have already read. I believe I talked about it in my wrap up. I'll list it up here for you guys, but it's Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. And this follows our main character, Freddie, and she is dating Laura Dean, the blonde here on the cover. But Laura is one of those people who doesn't really want to settle down. She does cheat on Freddie a lot, and there's a lot of just ups and downs with Freddie's relationships with her friends because she spends so much time trying to get Laura Dean to pay attention to her and love her and be with her. And it was a really heartbreaking read. Like I said, I'll leave the review up above, but I did pick this up. I actually love every single thing that this publishing company does. I have an entire like cart on Amazon full of their books, and I like the big floppy like comic books as well, like graphic novels. I don't know the difference between comic and graphic novels, but I have a bunch of these in my cart on Amazon because I love them. Now the next couple of books I want to talk about are actually from my book of the month. My book of the month link is down below if you guys want to sign up for it, but the first one I've actually already read, and it would be The Proposal. And as well as our main character here on the cover, she's proposed to at a Dodgers game by her boyfriend that she didn't really even see like that kind of thing coming from. They don't say I love you. She doesn't really care when he talks. He's kind of boring, but he's good in bed, and that's why she's with him. And then she does meet Carlos, and they start kind of having a relationship. Now Nicole is one of those characters who's really like, I don't want to be in love. I don't want to say the word love, and she has a lot of walls built up, and the story is really about breaking those down while also maintaining the type of person that she just generally is. She doesn't need help. She wants to do things on her own. And Carlos is the type of character that is like, I will help you. I will do whatever you need me to do. So watching their little like story develop, I really enjoyed it. So I'm really glad that I got that from Book of the Month. Now the next two books I have from Book of the Month, I don't know a whole lot about. I feel like this one's kind of self-explanatory, but it'd be Summer of '69. This is obviously about the Summer of '69, and the story, I believe there's like a bunch of characters. It's like a multiple character point of view, and it tells what happens the summer of '69. It's like their last big summer together, and I wanted to pick this up because it seems like a really good summer read, as well as I am trying to read more, I don't know, I guess I would say like adult books recently, and this just seems like a little nice like adult contemporary kind of novel. Now, the next book that I have here is a Mexican folklore. It's really, really themed about Mexican folklore, and it'd be Gods of Jades and Shadow. This is about our main character, Cassiopeia, and she accidentally, I believe, wakens some of the Mexican gods, and that is what the story is about. I am excited to see what this is about because obviously it does have Mexican representation in it, and it is obviously a very different culture from what I have experienced in my life, which is once again why I picked up Queenie and why I ended up picking up this one. I feel like I want to start paying more attention to books that aren't really written for me and really try to learn how to review them in a good way while representing the culture and speaking about the culture, but also about just the book itself. Because when it comes to any kind of book that has representation in it, I tend to just be like, I enjoyed it or I didn't enjoy it. And it's hard to rate them and it's hard to figure out. And because this is more of like a fantasy folklore kind of book, I thought this would be another really good place to start. I'm sorry if you can hear my air conditioning, it's loud as hell today. The next 3 books that I have were actually sent to me from Bunny, and I'm really excited to read all of these. The first one is Internment, and she sent this to me and she said that it takes place about 15 seconds in the future, and I believe it is about Muslim people in the United States. They are forced to register, and then they are starting to be watched, and then obviously based on the name of the book, I'm assuming they go to some kind of like internment camp. And I'm really excited to read this. I feel like, unfortunately, the thing about this book is it hits a little too close to home. Like, I feel like something like this could happen in the United States. If you're not familiar with what's currently happening with a lot of the Mexican people that live here, this is happening in the United States. So it's gonna be an interesting read for me. It might hit me too hard. It might feel too aloft for me. I'm not sure. Bunny ended up giving this, I think, 3 stars. And the reason I'm really excited to read it is she left all of her tabs in here. So I'm excited to see what she ended up tabbing. The next book that she sent me, she also sent the movie to me because I've never read nor seen the movie, and it'd be Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. She said that I would love fried green tomatoes, and so she bought me the movie and then she sent me the book at the same time. And I think I'm gonna try to read the book before I watch the movie. I tend to try to do that, but you know, I might just break down and watch the movie. But I am really excited to read this. I don't know a whole lot about it except for Bunny says I would absolutely love it, and that is more than enough for me because Bunny seems to be pretty spot on with books I will or will not like. And the last book that I have here is another Christina Lauren book that I don't actually know that much about, and I don't want to know because I like to go into Christina Lauren books pretty blind, and it would be Roomies. Once again, Bunny got this for me. I am so excited. This is one of the only Christina Lauren books that I don't have, and I'm pretty sure this is a lot of people's very, very favorite, so it's time to just sit down and finally read it, and now I have it, and I'm so excited. I'm probably going to try to read it this month, maybe, or maybe I'll try to read it for the Newts next month. I'm not sure, but I just love Christina Lauren. I think they can really do no wrong for me, like honestly. I think they are phenomenal authors, and the fact that they work together, I think it makes their books have a lot more depth, and I'm really excited to see what Roomies is about. All right, so that is all of the books. Those are all the books that I got in the last month and a half. I try to kind of space these out because, like I said, I don't purchase books very often, so I never have like a lot to talk about at the end of the month. I know a lot of people do like monthly hauls, and I don't really, I mean, I have like 1 or 2 books, and so I didn't really want to do that, but since I have gotten quite a few over the last couple of weeks, I did want to sit down and show you guys. Let me know down below if you've read any of these and what you thought of them, and I'm really excited. I don't know how many times I can say excited. Every time I get new books, I'm just like, it's like a whole new world has opened up for me because I've had the same books on my shelves for a really long time, which probably shows I should just read them instead of buying more, but some of these were gifts, so it's okay. But I love you guys a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below a book that is out or coming out or that you recently received that you are really excited to read. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!